Welcome to the 50th season of Scholastic Scrimmage. Special thanks to our title sponsor, Temple St. Luke's School of Medicine.
Since 2006, the Temple St. Luke's School of Medicine has focused on cultivating local talent, with more than a third of our graduates continuing their training at St. Luke's or now working as attending physicians for our network. Learn more at souhn.org/SOM.
Additional support provided by PPL Electric, Charles H. Hoke Foundation, and viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the second match of the 50th season of Scholastic Scrimmage. I'm your host, David Graff. Today's match is between Marian Catholic High School and Allentown Central Catholic High School, who have won scrimmage 3 times over the last 50 years. The match will be composed of 2 halves with a lightning round midway through each half. At halftime, we'll pause so the students can introduce themselves and we'll get to know them a little bit better. As a reminder, Scholastic Scrimmage requires rapid recall of specific factual information. It's not necessarily indicative of academic training. And now let's begin with our first toss-up question. What Roman emperor who deified his lover, Antigonus, ordered the Scottish frontier in Roman Britain? Marian Catholic?
Hadrian.
The Hadrian is correct, or Hadrian's Wall would have been an acceptable answer with the rest of the question. For your bonus, what Bulgarian-born artist worked with his wife, Jean-Claude, and wrapped such landmarks as the Reichstag in fabric?
What is Stambolov?
That is incorrect. Christo is the correct answer. And I actually got to see he did an exhibit close to here in Central Park about 15 years ago. He wrapped gates in Central Park. Next toss-up question. What solar system planet hosts a hexagonal storm over its north pole, has a density less than waters, and Marian Catholic?
What is Jupiter?
That is incorrect. I'll continue for Central Catholic, and has the most extensive ring system. Central Catholic?
Saturn.
Saturn is correct. For your bonus, in the 1870s, what state elected Hiram Revels and Blanche Bruce as the first black senators, filling Confederate President Jefferson Davis's old seat?
Virginia.
That is incorrect. Mississippi is the correct answer. Next toss-up question. What state's House delegation includes Republican Elise Stefanik, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Marian Catholic?
New York.
That is correct, and Cortez represents Queens. For your bonus, a valet with atrophied eyelids escorts Garçon to a room at the start of what play by Jean-Paul Sartre? No Exit is the correct answer. Next toss-up question. What poem that describes a retreating sea of faith and imagines a plain where ignorant armies clash is by Matthew Arnold, and it's his work set on the English shore? That poem is Dover Beach. Next question, or next toss-up. What organs, which in insects have receptors containing units known as ommatidia, have mammalian versions with a light-detecting retina? Central Catholic?
Eyes.
Eyes are correct. For your bonus, in 1921, Shoghi Effendi became the guardian of what religion that originated in 19th century Persia and believes in the unity of all faiths?
Unitarianism.
That is incorrect, is the Baha'i faith. Next toss-up question. What artist collaborated with Thomas Jekyll on the Peacock Room and painted Arrangement in Gray and Black #1, which depicts his mother? James Whistler is the correct answer. Next toss-up question. What word, which names the mascot of the NFL's Seattle Seahawks, is German for lightning and names a World War II bombing campaign, Marian Catholic?
Blitz.
Blitz is correct, and it names a World War II bombing campaign against Britain. For your bonus, in July 2024, what former Donald Trump strategist and Breitbart co-founder reported to prison after he was convicted of contempt of Congress?
What is Rudy Giuliani?
That is incorrect. Steve Bannon is the correct answer. Next toss-up question. What confessional poet described a man with one gray toe, big as a Frisco seal, in a poem from her collection, Ariel, that she titled Daddy? Sylvia Plath is the correct answer. Next toss-up. What man that fired a shot into Dealey Plaza from the Texas School Book Depository in 1963? Central Catholic.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald is correct, and that shot killed John F. Kennedy. For your bonus, L'Hopital's rule can sometimes be used to find what quantity the value, a function of f of x, approaches as x gets near a specific value. That's L'Hopital's rule.
An asymptote.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is the limits. And now we're on to our first lightning round. In a pre-match coin toss, it was decided that Marian Catholic would get to pick first from the following topics. Your topics are taxonomic kingdoms or cities of the British Isles.
We'll go with cities of the British Isles.
Okay, Marian Catholic, cities with the British Isles it is. What city in the present-day United Kingdom or Republic of Ireland was there a great fire threatened the British government in the 1660s? And anyone can say it, just say it out loud.
London.
London is correct. Irish independence was sought during the Easter Rising.
Dublin.
Correct. The Scottish Parliament reopened in 1999.
Edinburgh.
That is correct. The Troubles raged in the capital of Northern Ireland.
Ulster.
That is incorrect. The Old English-speaking university, the oldest English-speaking university that was founded in 1096.
Oxford.
That is correct. Archbishop Thomas of Becket was murdered in 1170.
Canterbury.
That is correct. The Beatles formed in the 1960s.
Birmingham.
That is incorrect. The name Cottonopolis arose during the Industrial Revolution.
Birmingham.
That is incorrect. Plastic was invented in England's this second city.
Berwick-upon-Tyne.
That is incorrect. City on the River Clyde that, and with that one we're out. Plastics, this one kind of blew me away. It was Birmingham. Plastic was invented in Birmingham in the United Kingdom. Central Catholic, your topic is taxonomic kingdoms. Now break out the pencil and paper because you'll have to write some things down to prepare for the responses. In the 5-kingdom classification system, are these organisms considered animals, plants, fungi, protists, or Monera? And now the questions begin. The giant panda.
Animals.
Correct. Octopus.
Animal.
Correct. Bacillus athraceus, the cause of anthrax.
Fungi.
That is incorrect. Archaea.
Bacteria.
That is correct. Moss.
Plants. Plant.
Correct. Baker's yeast.
Fungus.
Correct. The photosynthetic euglena.
Plant.
That is incorrect. Fern.
Plant.
Correct. P. natatum, the source of penicillin.
Fungi.
That is correct. And sea anemones.
Animals.
That is correct. All right, we'll continue on with the following toss-up question. What man who names the Broadway theater where Hamilton plays wrote the music for The King and I in collaboration with lyricist Oscar Hammerstein. So I take it no one's seen Hamilton on Broadway at all? It's the Richard Rodgers Theater, and Richard Rodgers is the composer. Next toss-up question. What island contains the town of Hangaroa, is inhabited by the Rapa Nui people, and is a Chilean possession that contains large stone moai statues? Central Catholic.
Easter Island.
Easter Island is correct. For your bonus, Oliver Cromwell's protectorate abolished what parliament? The remnant produced after Thomas Pride purged the Long Parliament.
Puritan Parliament.
That is incorrect. The Rump Parliament is the correct answer. Next toss-up. What metal, which oxidizes to form a green layer known as Central Catholic?
Copper.
Copper is correct, and it's still used to coat pennies. Your bonus is in math. Pencil and paper ready. What is the smallest number that, when rounded to the nearest hundredth, could be rounded up to 0.13?
$0.125.
That is correct. Next toss-up question. What religion, which reveres the creator deity Bondye and venerates Loa, such as Papa Legba, and is a Secretic faith that developed in Haiti? Central Catholic.
Rastafarianism.
That is incorrect. Over to Marian Catholic. No conferring, but up to you. Marian Catholic.
Voodoo.
Voodoo is correct. For your bonus, Kit Carson is buried in the town of Taos, which is in what state whose cities include Clovis and Rio Rancho?
Texas?
That is incorrect. New Mexico is the correct answer. Next toss-up. In what decade, which Thomas Wolfe called the Me Decade, did an Arab oil embargo fuel stagflation amid celebrations of the U.S. bicentennial? Central Catholic.
The 1970s.
The 1970s is correct. For your bonus, the Gracie brothers developed the popular Brazilian form of what Japanese martial art, whose name means gentle art?
Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu-Jitsu is correct. Next toss-up question. What character smuggles goods to the falsely imprisoned Muff Potter, is raised by Aunt Polly, and courts Becky Thatcher in a novel by Mark Twain? Central Catholic.
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer is correct. For your bonus, what viral disease, whose A and B types are preventable by vaccines, has a C type that can cause cirrhosis and liver cancer?
Hepatitis.
Hepatitis or viral hepatitis is correct. And with that, we have reached halftime. We have a great match underway. Right now, Allentown Central Catholic leads Marian Catholic with a score of 130 to 55. And now we'll have the students introduce themselves with their first and last name, grade level, and the answer to the following question in celebration of the 50th season. What is your favorite innovation from the last 50 years? And we've mentioned internet and iPhone off the table. They're the obvious ones. So Marian Catholic James, we start with you. Go ahead.
James Gomez Jr. My favorite innovation would be the PlayStation.
That's a good one, and it sold, I think, easily over hundreds of millions of editions. So definitely a big influence on society. Colleen, go ahead.
Colleen Gilsbach Jr. My favorite innovation is probably the 3DS.
Okay, Isaac.
Isaac Kariva. I'm a senior. My favorite innovation would have to be the TV like we have.
All right, Eli.
My name's Eli Kariva. I'm a senior, and if I were to have to pick my favorite innovation, it would probably be insulin production and insulin use because I'm diabetic.
Very good. All right, Central Catholic George, go ahead.
I am George Lima, and my favorite innovation would probably have to be the insulin pod for very similar reasons.
Okay, Jim.
My name's Jim Langan. I'm in 11th grade. My favorite innovation would probably be Bluetooth.
All right.
I'm Gabby Martinez. I'm a junior, and my favorite innovation would probably be AirPods.
Okay.
My name is Matthew Alvarado. I'm a junior, and my favorite innovation would probably be the Xbox.
Very cool. Yeah, modern medicine, it does amaze me how much it's evolved over 50 years. And I've often thought about, like, 50 years from now, what will it possibly be like? Like, will organ transplant be as difficult, or insulin? How much simpler will it be to help balance out things like diabetes? All right, on to the second half of the match with the following toss-up question. What novel, whose epilogue is narrated by Professor Pierre Chateau, features Aunt Lydia, the Commander, and Offred, and was written by Margaret Atwood? It also became a popular TV series, The Handmaid's Tale. Next toss-up question. What series in which Jack McBrayer played the seemingly immortal page Kenneth starred Tina Fey as writer Liz Lemon and was Central
South
Catholic?
Park?
Say it again.
South Park?
That is incorrect. I'll continue for Marian Catholic, and was set at NBC headquarters in New York City. No conferring, but if you know it, you can buzz in. Oh, that's a good one. Everyone should queue up Netflix tonight. 30 Rock is the TV series. Next toss-up question. In what effect, whose transverse form was measured in the Ives Stilwell experiment, does a moving observer perceive a change in a wave's frequency? Central Catholic.
The Doppler effect?
The Doppler effect is correct. Your bonus is in math. Pencil and paper ready. 2 answers are required. What are the only 2 prime numbers that, when added together, produce a sum of 21?
$19 and $2.
19 and 2 is correct. Next toss-up question. What country's revolution in which the AVH secret police were broken up by Imre Nans in 1956 ended with the arrival of Soviet tanks in Budapest? Marian Catholic.
Hungarian Revolution?
The Hungarian Revolution, or Hungary, is correct. Your bonus. In what state was March for Our Lives founded by survivors of a 2018 school shooting in Parkland?
Parkland?
Say it again? No, say it exactly what you said.
Parkland.
No, Parkland is the city. We're looking for the state. State was Florida. Next toss-up question. What instrument whose virtuosos include J.J. Johnson and Glenn Miller had an earlier form called a sackbut and is played using a slide? Marian Catholic.
Is it a trombone?
The trombone is correct. For your bonus, what American author of the novel Babbitt also wrote Aerosmith? Go ahead and tell your captain.
Mark Twain?
That is incorrect. Sinclair Lewis is the correct answer. Next toss-up question. What acid used in the wet method to make phosphoric acid can be made using the contact process and is a strong acid with the chemical formula H2S?
Sulfuric acid?
Marian Catholic?
Sulfuric acid.
Sulfuric acid is correct, and its formula is H2SO4. For your bonus, modern Tanzania was formed by the union of Tanganyika and what archipelago in the Indian Ocean?
Zanzibar?
Zanzibar is correct. Next toss-up question. What politician, who was CEO of Halliburton in the late 1990s, served as both George H.W. Bush's defense secretary and George W. Bush's vice president? Central Catholic.
Al Gore.
That's incorrect. Over to Marian Catholic. So again, no conferring, but you can buzz in if you know it or think you know it. Go ahead.
Mitt Romney?
That's also incorrect. It's Dick Cheney. Next toss-up. What city's Los Feliz neighborhood contains the Griffith Observatory, while other landmarks like Grauman's Chinese Theater lie on its Hollywood Boulevard? Central Catholic.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is correct, and Grauman Theater is on the Hollywood Boulevard. For your bonus, what rapper's 2021 album Hall of Fame, which starts and ends with the songs Painting Pictures and Bloody Canvas, includes the hit Rap Star? Oh, this is a bonus for Central Catholic.
Polo G.
Polo G is correct. Eli, were you thinking Polo G too? No. Oh, well, they were correct. Central Catholic with Polo G. Next toss-up question. What nutrient isolated by Albert Saint-Georges is called ascorbic acid because it treats symptoms of scurvy and is a vitamin found in Marian Catholic?
Vitamin C.
That is correct, and it's a vitamin found in citrus fruits. For your bonus, what 1959 play by William Gibson depicts Anne Sullivan's real-life work teaching language and discipline to a young Helen Keller?
What is Helen Keller the story?
That is incorrect. The Miracle Worker is the correct answer. And with that, we have reached our second lightning round. So Allentown Central Catholic, you'll get to pick between the following topics: fictional mice or months. Mice or months? And they're fictional mice.
Months.
Central Catholic, months it is. Listen very closely to these questions and name these months that contain Veterans Day and Thanksgiving.
November.
Correct. Can end with a leap day.
February.
Correct. Its first Monday is Labor Day.
September.
Correct. On the Muslim calendar, the holy month of fasting.
Pass.
Anybody can say it.
May.
That is incorrect. Its 26th day is Boxing Day in the UK.
December.
Correct. Named for the Roman god of war.
Augustus.
That is incorrect. Called enero in Spanish.
January.
Correct. Some chemists observe Mole Day on its 23rd
October.
day. Say it again.
October.
Correct. On the Jewish calendar, month when Yom Kippur is observed.
September.
That is incorrect. On the French Revolutionary calendar, September month when Maximilien Robespierre was overthrown.
August.
That's also incorrect. That's what I'm saying, listen carefully because we're asking for specific calendars. So Thermidor would be on the French Revolution calendar when Robespierre was overthrown. Marian Catholic, your topic is fictional mice. Answer the following about mice in fiction. A cartoon mouse chased by the cat named Tom.
Jerry.
Correct. Mascot of Disney and love interest of Minnie.
Mickey Mouse.
Correct. Title mouse of Daniel Keyes' book.
Stuart Little.
That's incorrect. Mouse whose burrow is saved by the title Rats of Nim. If you don't know, you can say pass to move on.
Pass.
Author who created the mouse Ricky Ricotta and Captain Underpants.
Stuart Little.
Incorrect. Disney film in which the mouse Roquefort saves the title felines from death.
Aristocats.
That's correct. Number of blind mice in an English nursery rhyme.
3.
That's correct. Fastest mouse in all of Mexico in Looney Tunes cartoons.
Speedy Gonzales.
That's correct. Name shared by the fictional mouse reporter Stilton and an Apache chief. That was Geronimo, that last one. Okay, we'll continue on with the final quarter of the match with the following toss-up question. What novel set at Misselthwaite Manor is by Frances Hodge Burnett and portrays an orphan named Mary Lennox, who discovers the title secluded place?
The Secret Garden.
Marian Catholic?
Oh, The Secret Garden.
The Secret Garden is correct. For your bonus, Scott Joplin, who wrote the song The Entertainer, is often called the king of what genre of music, characterized by syncopated rhythms? This is a bonus for Marian Catholic.
Blues?
That is incorrect. Georgia Central Catholic, what was your guess?
Ragtime.
Ragtime is correct, but unfortunately, no points, just the nerd cred on that one. Next toss-up question. What home country of Nobel Prize winning author Orhan Pamuk contains the Bosphorus Bridge and the mosque, the Hagia Marian Catholic?
Turkey.
Turkey is correct. It contains the mosque, the Hagia Sophia, and in the city of Istanbul. So Turkey is correct. For your bonus, during an argument over the Bleeding Kansas crisis, Preston Brooks caned what abolitionist senator from Massachusetts on the Senate floor?
Abe Lincoln.
Incorrect. Charles Sumner is the correct answer. The next toss-up is in mathematics. Pencil and paper ready. What is the largest prime factor of the number 132? Given that 132 is a multiple of both 4, Central Catholic.
11.
11 is correct, and it's a multiple of both 4 and 3. For your bonus, in 1866, what Austrian monk published his laws of independent assortment and segregation, which paved the way for modern genetics?
Mendel.
Mendel.
Mendel is correct. Next toss-up question. What explorer who wrote the Mundus Novus letter in 1503 was honored by the mapmaker Martin Waldseemüller? Central Catholic.
Amerigo Vespucci.
Amerigo Vespucci was correct, and he was honored by Waldseemüller by having 2 continents named after him in the New World. For your bonus, in Norse myth, the owner of the Jagerhorn will kill and be killed by Loki during Ragnarok.
Thor.
Incorrect. Heimdall is the correct answer. Next toss-up question. What NFL team who won Super Bowl 37 with MVP safety Derek Jackson also won Super Bowl 55 in 2021 with Rob Gronkowski and Central Catholic?
The New England Patriots.
That's incorrect. I'll finish for Marian Catholic and Tom Brady. James, Marian Catholic.
Dolphins.
That is also incorrect. I'm a Dolphins fan. I wish they'd won the Super Bowl back then. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was Tom Brady's return season when he switched from New England over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next toss-up question. What river, which is overlooked by the Castel St. Angelo, empties into the Tyrrhenian Sea at the port of Ossetia after flowing through Rome? Central Catholic.
The Tiber River.
Tiber River is correct. And with that, that's the end of the match. No need for a bonus on that one because Allentown Central Catholic, you've won. Congratulations, you're on to the second round with a score of 225. Marian Catholic, 150 points, not quite enough today, but a great match. Good luck with the rest of your school year. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week when Liberty High School faces off against Bethlehem Catholic High School.
Since 2006, the Temple St. Luke's School of Medicine has focused on cultivating local talent, with more than a third of our graduates continuing their training at St. Luke's or now working as attending physicians for our network. Learn more at souhn.org/SOM.